Fani-Kayode's ex-wife, Chikwendu, arraigned over alleged cybercrime. The police authorities Thursday reportedly arraigned Precious Chikwendu, the estranged wife of former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, for allegations bordering on cybercrime. Chikwendu, who was arraigned before Justice Obiora Egwuatu at the Abuja division of the Federal High Court on a 5-count charge. She, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge after it was read to her. Victor Okoye, counsel to the Inspector General of Police, the prosecution in the case, prayed the court for a date to commence a trial and to remand Chikwendu in Kuje prison, pending the hearing and determination of the matter. But Alex Ejesieme, who was counsel to Chikwendu, disagreed with Okoye's request. "I am surprised that counsel is making this funny application," Ejesieme said. "What's funny about it?" the judge asked, directing him to move his application. The senior lawyer told the court that he had filed an application for bail and that the prosecution had been served. He said the prosecution only served them with a counter affidavit Wednesday, and he had replied with a further affidavit and a reply on points of law Thursday morning. He said the late service was a ploy by the prosecution to have his client remanded in prison. Ejesieme argued that the prayer that Chikwendu should be remanded in prison was uncalled for, since she had never breached the terms of the administrative bail granted her by the police. "That is why I am saying it is funny, since the defendant has been on administrative bail," he said. Besides, he said, Chikwendu is a mother of 4, while urging the court to admit the defendant to bail based on the earlier administrative bail granted her by the police. Okoye, in disagreeing with Ejesieme, said he filed a counter affidavit and urged the court to refuse the bail application. He argued that Chikwendu had conducted herself in a way that undermined the Criminal Justice Act, citing paragraphs 5 to 9 of his counter affidavit. Okoye said even when the charge was already in court, the defendant, that is Chikwendu, had been making publications to suggest that the Criminal Administration Act was biased. He urged the court to exercise its discretion in favor of the prosecution. He described Chikwendu's averment as extraneous, especially the matrimonial claim. In a counter affidavit deposed to by Joseph Kantoma, an officer in the legal department of the police force headquarters, Okoye urged the court to refuse the bail application. He said most of the 16 paragraphs in the affidavit attached to the bail motion by the defendant were false and misleading. The officer argued that, contrary to paragraph 8 of the applicant, that's Chikwendu's affidavit, she failed to appear before the court on January 24, when the case was slated for arraignment, having been served with the charge. And more so, the defendant is suspected to still be engaging in criminal activities in the similitude of the one she is charged with, herein necessitating further investigation into the activities of the defendant. Okoye stated that refusing the bail application would not impair the defendant's preparation for her trial in the case, as she would always have access to her counsel. He argued that paragraph 11 of the bail application was false and misleading, as the case before the court is a case bordering on cybercrime offenses and punishable by the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, particularly the Cybercrimes Prohibition and Offences Act. Okoye, while urging the court to dismiss Chikwendu's bail plea, said The prosecution was ready to prosecute the case expeditiously, and all the witnesses are within jurisdiction. The judge, who admitted Chikwendu to bail in the terms earlier granted by the police, adjourned the matter until June 7 for trial commencement. If you enjoyed this, please like, share and subscribe so you can get notifications.